Hello everyone, this is the Water with Kiwi Adventure channel. Today is my second review of a new 2020 Prius Prime, and for my first review, it's about after 2 weeks I get a car, and this is the review after about 6 months I have this car. This 6 months I have been go through the late spring and also summer and pre-winter. The temperature range from the 0 to 35 and back to -15 to the lowest. I think for the summer, the car driving really good. I really like the car. This car is just amazing. And so far driving about close to 20,000 kilometers. I filled only about less than 10 tank of gas. I can't remember right now. I will show you later. I'll show my fuel and gas record on each tank I'm driving. You know, I'm still driving 140 kilometers every day for my commute. This I bought this car mostly for. And due to the pandemic, I have really used the car for the road trip. I really want to do because you know, some family issue. I haven't get ready for the road trip yet. I really want to take a try it, see how the car driving by single tank and single charge, how the go to run. But I don't think this year gonna happen. Maybe next year. The car is amazing, and I guess I don't, you know, before I spent at least over $200 a month on the gas for my just commute. But right now I spend only maybe $40. I don't know how to say about it. You know, I only say amazing, definitely amazing. The only complaint for this car means the dislike is the cargo space, because you know that you put a big battery under the cargo, so you won't get the big cargo space. So you know, every time I go to Costco shopping, I have to put all the stuff on my back seat, because you know, that space definitely not enough. About charging the car. Mostly I charging at home about 110 volt. I charge at work because my manager gave me free charge to last the battery longer. Then I start using the charging timer. You know, I find no difference, but you know, sometimes you want to drive back the car home, you want to charge immediately because you want to you will use later, so you have to charge it right away. But most time I try to use it in the time charging function to try to let my battery last a little bit longer. So far, after driving this year 6 months, I didn't see any significant difference about the charging range. But so far, yeah. Oh, sometimes I can also use some 220 volt charge, because our city for the park, they give it one couple spots of the free charging spots, and because we went to our park also this summer. And also IKEA, they had a charging point sponsored. They had 4 spots of the free charging, 220 volt charging over there. Also charge 4 times. And 200 volt charging definitely faster. Take about 2 hours and 2.5 hours. Summer driving is more efficient, you know, because sometimes I can see the 64% of my EV driving, about 70 kilometers from most highway. And, you know, that's the highest I can see. And also, you know, one morning when I start my car and check my EV range, it also show almost close to 50 kilometers. You know, actually never driving 50 kilometers on the highway, but it still gave it about 50 kilometers. It's close to 50 kilometers. You know, that's very impressive. Because you know, the charging depends on weather and also the car status. And I think that number change all the time. Sometimes it be from 42 to 50 to 46 to 49 kilometer difference. It's always change every day, the difference. And also in the summer driving, I found if you use AC, it give you more driving EV range. I think because this car using air cool, so if you open the AC and more cool air will go to cool down your battery. I think maybe that's why it give you longer range. I don't know. But anyway, I found that if you open the EV, if you use the AC, and you're gonna drive a little more EV for this car. The one example that one morning I forgot to charge my car, only started with a 10% battery. You can see I drive about a 66%, 66 kilometers, only 2% battery left, and only 4.3 liter per 100 kilometers. It's really good. You see, still only 15% EV. Very good car. Lots of people, when buy the plug-in hybrid or EV car, mostly concerned about the winter driving. I think this is my concern too before when buy this car. This is one of the reasons I get a plug-in hybrid, because even you're driving out of the battery, you still can drive because you still have the gasoline engine. But actually, after driving this car for the pre-winter, so far the coldest weather I get is -15. So it's not kind of representative for the cold winter like over here. Over here, I think winter is the coldest in December, January, and February. The temperature mostly around the -15 to -30. Sometimes we reach to -35 with the windshield. You can reach to -50, because definitely won't happen for this. I won't drive this car for this winter, because the car is not all-wheel drive, and so also drive the highway with lots of snow in the early morning, so it's kind of not safe. That's why I switched to my other SUV car. But during the pre-winter, I can see the gas mileage decreasing significantly. You know, in some winter, in the summertime, I can drive about at least 1700 kilometers. The winter is roughly about 15. Yeah, and because of cold morning, and because also cold in a cold morning, driving the highway 70 kilometers, I can only get about 40 to 45% of EV driving. And afternoon would get a little bit better, because the temperature warm up a little bit. Sometimes you can see you can get 60%, back to 60%. That's pretty good. But in the highway, no, in the city, you're gonna see the significant difference, because summer you can easily get the 45 to 50 kilometers in the city driving, because it's more stop and more regenerating, and also the lower speed. But the winter, I have only drive about a 35 kilometer maximum, because you know that's really horrible for the for the electric car in the winter. I know this, but what you can do, right? This is the weather, Mother Nature. During the EV drive, I like to put this car on about 19-20 degrees Celsius, and only open 1 or 2 bar, because I take my kids to go to work every day, so I have to turn the heater on, because I cannot just keep myself warm. So this is a little bit of disadvantage for the battery, and because this is going to consume more battery during the driving, and but if I switch to the gasoline engine, I'm gonna crank up to the battery the temperature and the speed, because the gasoline engine can generate more heat than the battery. So I think this is I think if you just drive yourself, then you can use the driver priority setting. So that's way will give you a little bit more efficient on the EV drive. This chart is my driving record, and also the gasoline usage information. So I start April 25th, and start filling my car. So first fill in May 20. I drive about 16,000 kilometers. And start the July 7th, start record the fuel display economic on the display. And also start the July 28, start right the how many kilometers left in the tank worth of gas. You can see when fill the 12 times of the gas. So the total driving about 20,000 kilometers, and use about 380 liter of gas, average 1.8 by display. See October 26th and November. Because in November I don't have the data, so I didn't fill up, so not much. But you can see the gas usage is much more than others. And for the June one month, because I see price jump up, so I filled early. So Now I just drive my car back from work, about 70 kilometers, close to 70 kilometers driving. You can see right now I drive my total driving range about 220,000 kilometers. And also you can see my gas indicator is on because I try to use my gas as possible, because next day I'm gonna put this car on the parking, and I don't want to drive in this car for the winter. And you see this is only about 25 kilometers left in my tank. Based on the gas consumption for this car, I think only about the liters. Right now I'm stopped at a Shell gas station. You're gonna fill the best gas for the Shell, for the V-Power, to make sure the car gets a really good gas before in the winter during storage. And you see after this single tank gas only get just over 1500 K. Because of the cold weather, the car doesn't really doing good. So we know this is Mother Nature, what we can do, right? So after fill the gas, and then I will give the car a wash, and I still have about 2 kilometers to home. So that's it. And we'll be driving this car next year. Hope we're doing good. And also, based on the Toyota the user manual recommendation, during the storage, I have to start the car about every 3 months to make sure the 12 battery they get charged, and also suggest to maintain the good battery. You cannot leave the zero battery during the storage for a period of long time. And I also very like the light of this car. You know, the quad LED light. During the low beam is only the two light on each side, on the really outside side. And this light is really good. You know, especially during the nighttime while driving the highway. Both sides dish. During the winter or during the fall and winter, lots of deer cross the highway. Because of this light, you can easily to see the ditch. And you can sometimes, you know, a couple times I see the deer jumping around the ditch on across the highway because they see the light and turn around. You know, it's much safer for this car. It's much better than my other SUV, you know, the dim yellow light. I really like this one. I really like this. Okay, hope next year I will still doing some more video about my car. Just keep a documentary on my car. Hope the car gonna last a little longer. And hope you like my video. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. And please subscribe my video. And thank you. See you next year.